relationship builder, and thank you for joining Sue the Relationship Builder podcast. Today, I am so excited to have Makayla Lewis here with us today. And Sue the Relationship Builder podcast is a podcast to help people start, build, and maintain relationships. So, I just want to go ahead and dig in this fabulous episode. So, when I met Makayla when I went to an establishment, and she was so pleasant. And she's in management, but that's not the only thing that she does. Makayla is a young lady who is doing a lot of major things. Number one, she is an author. And number two, she is training to become a pilot. And Makayla is also a person who impacts other young ladies to do and inspire them to do any and everything. Mm-hmm. So Makayla, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, my name is Makayla Lewis. I'm from Savannah, Georgia. I grew up there most of my life. I just recently moved to the Atlanta area. Growing up, I used to dance, and it was a predominantly white area. So it was hard seeing girls not my color and trying to be encouraged to keep continuing to dance. So I went through a lot of colorism growing up because I had dark skin, and I was also around people who were not my complexion. Mm-hmm. So going through all that, and with all that being said, I decided to start a business because I used to get bullied for my dark skin. Wow. For other dark-skinned girls and other melanated girls who feel like their skin color makes them less of who they are, even the outer image, it doesn't make you less of a person. It doesn't define you. Your looks don't define you. It's who you are inside. So that's something I had to learn, and it wasn't easy, but I know there's people going through my testimony, so I just want other people to know that there's a business, there's an outlet for you.
Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing. You know what? We share some of the same things. Mm-hmm. When I met you the other day, you were just so kind and so pleasant, mm-hmm. and just so beautiful. And your confidence was out of this world, because I had just left a place where I wasn't as happy that day. Mm-hmm. And when I came in, because of your demeanor, because mm-hmm. of your spirit, it just enlightened me, and I felt so wonderful. So as we talked and we shared, you asked me, did I have a daughter? Mm-hmm. And I said yes. Mm-hmm. And I was like, why is this young lady asking me, do I have a daughter? And as we started converse, we started talking about our skin complexion. And as you notice, both of us are melanated young women, mm-hmm. and we're both beautiful young women. Mm-hmm. But just like you, when I was growing up, I was bullied as well regarding mm-hmm. my complexion. And I did not go to a predominantly white school. Mm-hmm. I went to a predominantly African-American mm-hmm. school until I went to college. Mm-hmm. And it was people who looked like me who basically bullied me about my skin complexion. And so I felt the same way that you felt. Mm-hmm. But I had to work on me to love me and love the skin that I'm in. Mm-hmm. And so when I spoke with you that day, it had a commonality, and it took me back to when I was in elementary school. And things started turning around for me a little bit when I was in middle school. Then it was like, okay, the darker skinned girls are in. But even at that point, those people who bullied me, I was like, you know what? Don't try to talk to me now. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think what you're doing is needed, because when you talk about colorism and also discrimination within your own race, mm-hmm. it is real, and it shouldn't be that way. But I am strongly confident, just like you are now, mm-hmm. Regarding who I am, my complexion, and I'm not going to make an apology for it. So when you were talking about, when I met you that day, you told me so much about you. You told me about your book. Mm-hmm. So tell us about your book that you wrote.
Okay,
and why did you write it?
Okay, so at the age of 16 or 15, I wanted to start my business, and then I love writing. Like, I have a passion for writing, and when I would go through everything I was going through, because it was a point of point in time I was really sad. I would write. I love writing. Like, I love writing. I had a poem, and I won a contest for a poem called A Little Black Beauty. So, after I wrote that poem, it took me a couple years to actually focus in on what I want to do in, like, the whole business aspect about it. But people kept telling me how good it is. So, I wrote the book when I was 17, and then I think when I turned 18, I published my book on my brother's birthday, so that's when I first published the book. And growing up, I didn't have any books in the library of girls that looked my color. Or if there was books of girls my color, it was a very, like, small variety. If my teachers weren't reading me that book, I had to go and get the book myself. So I want something for other dark girls or brown girls to see. And it's like, oh, she looks like me. She has curly hair. She has glasses. She has dark skin. And that's something, if I would have had that growing up, it would have helped me so much. Because there was a book I had when I was younger, and the girl was like brown skin, curly hair, and I was obsessed with that book.
Wow.
So, yeah, having that, it would have probably helped me. So, I wanted to write a book. And it's talking to, like, younger girls, because you start reading when you're young. Like, it's about what you learn when you're younger. That's what affects you the most growing up. So, I wrote the book for that purpose. And, yeah, I want other girls to be able to read something. And a lot of people read, or they should be reading at a young age. So,
yes,
it's something, you know.
I think that's great because it's a win-win. You are inspiring. You are encouraging young girls to read, and you're also encouraging them where they can see other people who look just like them. And I think that's great because, to your point, even in an African American school, there were not a lot of books that had people who looked like us as African Americans, and it surely didn't have girls who were darker skinned or had curly hair or straight hair or no hair at all. And so I think what you're doing is fabulous. And I can already see that your books, not only in libraries, but also in schools within a curriculum. And so I applaud you on that. And your poem. So how old are you again?
I'm 18. I'm only 18.
18. And so an author already, an encourager, inspire, and that is just great. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
And then you're confident, and you got past, not feeling good about who you are. And there are women who are older than you, who are my age, who feel the same way, in their 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s and 60s, that they don't feel confident about themselves. And so this is great that you are doing this for others. So you told me another thing about your poem. So can you tell us a little bit about your poem, or can you give us just a little snapshot of what the poem is?
I memorize my poem.
Oh, okay. Well, we are all for it to hear it, girl.
Okay. So normally I have like a little mirror, like when I speak. So it's, I look in the mirror and what do I see? A little black beauty staring back at me. I look in the mirror and what do I see? A unique little black girl staring back at me. I look in the mirror and what do I see? A little black beauty seeking for peace. I look in the mirror and what do I see? A little black beauty hoping to dance only if you give her a chance. I look in the mirror and what do I see? Makayla blank Marie.
Oh, that is awesome. That's so beautiful.
Thank you.
So beautiful. Ain't she beautiful?
Thank you.
That is great. And so with your poem, is that poem also in the book that you wrote?
No.
Okay.
But I have another, it's like an ebook, and I put it on there. And I write poems daily.
Okay. So I went to your website, and I saw your book on your website. And I also saw some attire on your website that's inspiring and encouraging. So can you tell everyone your website?
My website is alittleblackbeauty.com, and I have some bedazzled beanies coming in.
All right.
A bedazzled velour tracksuit.
Oh.
And then I have my book, and hopefully I'm going to do tumblers, little hair clips, and more stuff. But
okay. Well, I cannot wait to support you. I'm all in for the tumblers. I'm all in for the beanies. So you can wear those because, Sue the Relationship Builder, I normally have my podcast episodes on the patio, but because it's a cold night, we are inside. But that beanie will be good when I'm out on the patio, when I do Soothing Relationship Builder on the patio. Now, the other thing that I am just so amazed about with you is that you are working on your pilot's license, and she's already flown. So tell us a little bit about that, what you did, what encouraged and inspired you to become a young pilot.
So when I was getting ready to go to college, I graduated high school with honors. I had a 3.8 GPA. I had the Hope Scholarship, everything. But, I mean, my cousin gave me the opportunity. He was like, my other cousin is flying, and she really enjoys it. So if you enjoy it, I'll help you with school.
Okay.
So he helped me get, to fly. It's called a discovery flight, and you fly. I didn't know I was going to fly the plane before I did. I thought I was just going to ride around, see. But he was like, grab control. I'm like, oh, okay. So when I grabbed it, I just felt like an instant amount of, joy. I was so happy. I could not stop smiling. I was so happy. And I have it on video, too. But I was so happy to fly the plane. And then after that, I fell in love with it. So now I just, pilot planes. So either I want to be a AMT or a pilot for, an airline. So,
okay.
Yeah. And I wanted to do interior design, but I was going to go to college for that and get a degree, but then it's so much jobs in the aviation field, I can be an aviation interior designer. So it's that's kind of my end goal, to be an aviation interior designer, and then all hopes I'll become that soon. So
I can see that happening for you.
That's what I want.
That's so amazing.
I would say, I would go in the mirror, and I had this thing where I had a dragon speaking out words in African language, you are beautiful. I would go in the mirror and tell yourself you're beautiful, and you fake it till you make it. So once you start believing in yourself, others will believe in you. Nobody's going to love you if you don't love yourself. So you have to have something about you or your personality that somebody doesn't, they don't have. Nobody's going to get that anywhere else. It's only in you. You have to be yourself. Don't try to fit in. Don't try to feel like you need this and that. You have to love yourself. It starts within. And then you can work on the outsides and how you look, and you can get this and that. But you'll never be happy buying stuff or how you look on the outside. It's always in.